Hi, my name is Delia. I have worked in lactation and I currently work more on the policy side now. Build breastfed 2 babies till 2. I run a blog called Roots. I include everything about parenting. So that's a place where moms can talk about many branches of motherhood or parenting. So check it out. Everything you need to know is down in the bottom. Today I want to talk about breastfeeding in the Black community. This year's theme is Revive, Restore, and Reclaim for Black Breastfeeding Week. We want to revive, restore, and reclaim breastfeeding in our communities, to give Black mothers support that they need, and to address underlying problems that may be blocking them from proceeding with breastfeeding. To let moms know that this is something that has always been in our history and is embedded in our roots, to give our babies the most nutritious start to life. Breastfeeding has long been in our culture. In this Egyptian hieroglyphic, you see Isis breastfeeding her son Horus from the breast. In Egypt's 4th century, she was loved by all, including Queen Cleopatra. When the Romans spread into Egypt, they continued the worship of her. Unfortunately, little is talked about when it comes to the history of slavery and breastfeeding. Certain records indicate that formula companies pressured doctors to tell moms that breastfeeding wasn't good for you to increase the sale of formula. In turn, it became a social status to not breastfeed your child. Now, these women started seeing a decline in their children's health. Wet nursing became more popular, and slaves had to breastfeed their owners' children, as well as their own. Sadly, a slave didn't always have the option to breastfeed their child and the slave owner's child. So a mother would often have to see her child go malnourished and sometimes die. There is a tremendous amount of backstory to these events, but I'm not going to go into that today. I just wanted you guys to understand the trauma that may plague moms and families when it comes to breastfeeding. So I was a little confused when I looked up breastfeeding rates among Black women in the U.S. I broke down the statistic that we hear a lot, that we have a 16% less breastfeeding rate than white women, so we could just understand it a little bit more. You see the Black population versus the white population on the right side. And out of our population, you see that we have a 69% breastfeeding rate among our population. So understanding how to read those statistics is definitely going to help us understand where we currently are. I found it helpful to address the root problems when it came to analyzing this data. By just looking at the data naked, I just see that we aren't breastfeeding. And the very important issue that we are lacking education in lactation as well as representation. Although I didn't have adequate lactation education while in the hospital, when I left, I was able to seek it out and find it. My biggest hurdle was finding an identity within the community of breastfeeding. I dug deeper and found some studies on epigenetics. This is the study of trauma having an effect on genes, so it's passed down from generation to generation. Taking a look at the trauma and understanding the root of the issue gives light on how we can help our Black community today and strengthen our love for breastfeeding that has always been there. So let's make a resolution to uplift the Black family household when it comes to breastfeeding, to support our moms and parents who choose to breastfeed their child, and give them a positive image of family and what we truly hold in our households. And give them informational things that could help them go forward with breastfeeding, like the size of baby's stomach being as small as a marble and needing only about 5 to 7 milliliters of breast milk. It's also important to encourage mom, especially in the time of sore nipples, engorgement, and all the things that a mom may be going through when breastfeeding, that this is the best thing for her baby. Emotional support from loved ones is one of the biggest reasons a mom chooses to go forward breastfeeding past the recommended 6 months. Being a part of online Facebook groups, communities for moms who are breastfeeding and going through things that you're going through helps tremendously, as well as communicating with your doctor your intentions before you have baby and after with your pediatrician about keeping up. Try finding local organizations who have lactation specialists and hold community groups. During these post-pandemic times, doing one that's virtual might be best for you. Now, everything I put on here, you can find online. If you have something you want to hear about, go ahead and message me. I appreciate your time and support. Don't forget to subscribe and look out for the next video.